Welcome to another Fancy Glasses video. Brought something German for you today. This is probably one of the most German vehicles ever. This is our 1932 Maybach DS8 Sport Cabriolet, otherwise known as a Maybach Zeppelin. I'm going to show you around the car and show you how it drives. This is a very complicated car to operate. It is practically unstealable. Now, starting with this aggressive front end, you have the big words Zeppelin. Now, this car was not owned by a Led Zeppelin member. It is named after the person who designed the engine. Count Ferdinand von Zeppelin of airship fame designed this massive 8-liter V12 that I'll show you shortly. Now, this car makes about 200 horsepower. I believe it's about 485 cubic inches. But huge 8-liter engine. So they coined the term Zeppelin for this car after who designed the powertrain. You have a very big mascot, otherwise known as a hood ornament. Now, Maybach is kind of just a badge now that they slap on Mercedes, but back in the day it was its own manufacturer. They made about 300 Maybachs back then. However, this is a DS8. There was also a DS7, so this is one of the 28 that were ever built out of the DS7 and DS8, and we are happy to have her. We actually have another DS8 limousine that's in dire need of restoration that hopefully we'll get to someday, but this is completely fully restored. And isn't she pretty? So here we're at the rear. We actually have dual exhaust on this car along with dual spare tires because tires blew up a lot back in the day. These tires are no longer manufactured. So this car, it's done the Pebble Tour twice actually, but it doesn't get out in the road much, but it actually has a dual range transmission, which technically makes this car an 8-speed. And it goes down the highway great. This car could do over 100 miles an hour, even with its massive heavy body. This car weighs, we believe, around 8,000 pounds or more. It's one of the heaviest cars in the Nethercut collection. So how big the car actually is, this is all you get right here for rear lights. There also is a little padlock that is currently off the car because we're getting her prepped for something very fun this fall. And you do have a boot or trunk. And it's a Spahn body. Spahn was a German coach builder. You can see their branding right here. Out of Ravensburg, Germany. It's a beautiful body. This is called a Sport Cabriolet. This top does retract and come down. But the real thing about this car that sets it aside from other Maybachs is the Zeppelin engine. 200 horsepower, 8-liter. And I'll show you what it looks like. So here is the massive 8-liter Zeppelin V12. You have your big Maybach branding here. Large generator. That's where the oil goes right there. Now there's everything written on the vehicle is German. That's some very complicated directions on how to adjust your valves. It's pretty much a month-long commitment once we translated it into English. This car, you can change the spark, but it does have dual distributor caps, so it actually does it all on its own. We have not even tinkered with it since the car's been running since yesterday. Dual carburetors, obviously. 200 horsepower, that's pretty solid. I mean, that was more than Packard for sure. The car weighs more than an average Packard, but it was trying to compete with Duesenberg. But this car is just so wildly complicated to drive. I'll show you how all that works. It's pretty fascinating. Now, aside from its very impressive performance and striking appearance, cars aren't really perfect unless they have a good story tied to them. Now, this car has been in the Nethercut collection since 1968, and it originally began its life, it was ordered by the Luftwaffe, which is the German Air Force. Now, this car was not part of major bad history with Germany because it was actually sold to a Polish diplomat before World War II actually broke out. However, when World War II did start, this car was found on a list for the Germans to take it back from Warsaw. Now that never actually happened, fortunately. I always say the Nazis were too stupid to find this car, but the Nethercutt collection found this car back in '68. It was in a barn in Poland, covered up, hidden away from the people searching for it. Now, JB Nethercutt purchased the car and removed it from the Iron Curtain, and it's been here right in Los Angeles ever since. It was restored gold and green, believe it or not. Now, I know that might sound ridiculous when you're looking at this car sporting this jet black finish. However, it didn't look too bad. Take a look. But back in 2017, we decided the car needs to go back to exactly how it was when it was brand new. So we have this beautiful paint. You could shave off the reflection, you could fix your hair. I mean, it is just insane. This car was re-restored by us in 2017. It's won a couple trophies since then. But the car really stands out to me personally because of how ridiculous the engineering is. And I'll show you how that works right now. So I got the window rolled down. Right now it is a very warm day in Southern California. This beautiful black leather. I apologize that you're not able to smell this through YouTube, but it just has such a rich aroma. You climb in here ever so gracefully. Here's your dashboard. I do not understand or read German, but you have your oil pressure here, vacuum. This is actually brake pressure. Your speedometer, which is in kilometers, of course. Engine temperature, and that's your fuel gauge. And you got your spark. Right here is your choke. And this is your fast idle. And then this button right here is your starter. And it's the standard pedals that have the Maybach badges on it. They're quite tiny. Handbrake. Your keys, if you flip it to the left, that's how to activate your horn. Headlights, fog lights, all that good stuff. This car does not have side mirrors. And here's your stick. Now, if you notice, it's in neutral right now, actually. So the shifting mechanism of this car is... Here, actually, I'll show you this. Makes it easier. That is your shift pattern. And no, it is not a 2-speed. It's actually an 8-speed, technically. Don't ask me how to say the word dual range in German, but it is very, very complicated, especially for 1932. So how does this car actually operate? You only use the clutch just for initial starting and coming to a complete stop. So you push the clutch in, go into your low range. Now, you're already in first gear right here on your steering column. So this is a pre-select dual range transmission. So what that means is once you ease off the clutch and start rolling, when you need to shift into second, you push this left lever up and you have to completely remove your foot from the throttle. The car will not shift if your toe is even resting on it. Going through the gears up until third gear, that's third gear, and then finally fourth gear. Now, you still have 4 more speeds, but you're still in low range, so and you clutch all the way down, right in between the seats, and start the process all over. So 8 speeds in 1932. Very, very funky, and it's a lot of fun trying to figure out how to drive it. Once you get the hang of it, it's actually not that hard, but a lot of hand moving going on. Very warm day here in Southern California, and we've been driving this car all day, so it's time to get her back into the shop with the air conditioning. So let me show you how to start it. Now it's already a little warm out, so this is your choke. You'd usually pull that all the way out, but because the engine's a little toasty, you kind of just give it a little half choke. And then you push the key in, which turns on the fuel pump, and push the starter. Oh. That starter is so loud. car has just an amazing exhaust note. Take a listen. So let's get her back to the shop. Just clutch in, first gear. This car has unbelievably difficult steering. It's very, very heavy. Hi! Got some visitors looking at the train today. So watch, you shift up to, actually this isn't enough RPMs, I'll show you in a second. I do not want to hit this gate. But I have right-hand drive on my side today. Like a glove. So you just build up some speed. Put that in, foot off the throttle. There you go, you're in second gear. It's that simple. So we're just pulling back into the museum shop now. We drove it a lot this morning. I took a couple glasses videos, so I'll just show you that right now. Here you go. Oops. There it goes. Yeah. Throttle is so touchy. I mean, you really have to go completely off.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a matter of getting to the right RPMs and then, you know, completely off.
Third.
Try doing it one-handed next time. I'm just curious.
Yeah, you don't want to put it right down to first immediately. It does not like that. So this is first gear. I heard it change. Okay, roll off the clutch. Building up RPMs. Second, foot off the throttle. That's second gear. Try it first, one-handed you said this time?
Yeah, go up with that one first.
That's third gear. Super. There it goes.
Now you gotta pause a little bit longer.
Yeah. Okay, 2 to 3 is really easy. There we go. Now she's in fourth. There's your vacuum going. The brake pressure gauge is just neat. How cool is that? The brakes on this car are actually phenomenal considering how heavy this vehicle is. Well, thanks for watching the video on our 1932 Maybach Zeppelin. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the video, please let me know in the comments or any other way you prefer. We'll see you in the next one.